Hey. Shh. You are the author of your reality. Put the pencil to paper. Everything starts and stops up here. Oftentimes, we try to overcomplicate our lives. We put too much significance to our addictions. We put too much significance to our problems. Whether that problem is not having any money, whether it's we're watching adult films, whether it's social media, we prioritize our problems instead of looking at our problems as insignificant, because that is what it truly is. Our life is a tiny speck within the macrocosm of the universe, within the totality of the entire world. You and your problems are not as big as they seem, but you have written them off subconsciously as that. And just as your habits have wired you to those addictions, that could be rewired to other more positive things. You could create the reality that you desired, that you so believed so long that you were destined for. You could become that now. Destiny complete. Everything starts now. Everything can start today. Reality is a lot more vast. The universe is a macrocosm, and us humans and our problems are the microcosm, the quantum level, the insignificant small perspective of the totality of life in itself, of the totality of the universe. Do you get that? Do you understand that your lifespan is a mere speck within eternity, within time and space? So everything that you spend your life, those very short and limited years, you spend it stressed, you spend it worrying, you spend it coping. You are the author of your reality. Don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget that. Because the day you forget that is the day you die. And yes, you can have a dead man walking. Understand that your problems, that your addictions, they're insignificant. Start viewing them as insignificant. You having no money, view it as insignificant. You being addicted to social media, view it as insignificant. View it as you have no problem with this. You don't see that addiction to social media as a problem. You could release, you could let go of it. This is not a problem. This never was. When you start viewing things under the insignificant viewpoint, if you start changing your worldview, you'll start to see that the things that you stress and you create for yourself are never truly there. You made that problem and exploited and blew it up to bigger proportions than what it truly was. In reality, this is what us as humans naturally find ourselves doing, right? See, our ego gets in the way and we view everything that we are addicted or attached to as important, right? See, all these feel-good chemicals, all of these reward systems for going into our vice, for giving into our vice, for giving into our coping mechanisms, right? See, we have prioritized our vices. We have prioritized our problems. We have made our problems the center of our attention, the center of our life. And whenever you find yourself doing that, you can never look at the grand scale of things. You can never see the bigger picture. You'll never be able to conceptualize that. Because everything that you conceptualize is right in front of you, right? Instead of looking at it from that 3D third person perspective, from looking at that aerial view of your life and everything around you, right? But you don't view it as that. You view your problems, you view your addictions, you view your urges, your cravings as something that you cannot get through, as a problem. It's insignificant. Start viewing your problems as insignificant, and I promise you, you're gonna find a solution. Because you're not worried. It's just gonna flow. Everything comes natural at that point. Anytime I feel an urge, wait a minute, I can remember that this urge is insignificant. Wait a minute, I can understand that this is insignificant. And when I can see that this is not as significant as I'm making it to be, I can find a quality solution to this insignificant problem. Can we even call it a problem at that point? That's how insignificant it is. You would just simply view it as something that needs to shift, to change. That's all that is at that point. You never really, and it's never a problem at that point. It's just something that needs to change. So you don't view it as good or bad. It's just something that you know you could go without. Simple. You not having any money, you stressing about not having any money is going to make that problem that much bigger. So take that eraser. Take them problems that you so-called have, that you've created for yourself, and just simply erase it. Oh, Ron, it's not that easy. It is that easy. It is that easy. If you started viewing your life as, hey, ain't no guarantee that I'm finna wake up tomorrow, I bet you'll start living every day like it's your last day. If you start looking at the grand scale of your life and say, damn, well, okay, I understand what I'm going through right now, and I have a potential to live another 50 years. It's not as big as you thought. You can get through this just like you get through everything else. That urge, that craving, that request or thought form that has a request for action, you could view that as insignificant every time it pops in your head. Instead of your ego giving into that and making it a big problem. Oh my God, I need to give in so I can achieve this reward, this dopamine hit. You could just start looking at it as insignificant. Oh, every single time that you feel like you need to do something, you can just properly convey verbally that you don't need to do it. That doing it is insignificant. And each and every single time the craving has a space in your mind, there's a counter for it, which is insignificance. I don't care about this. Why should I give into this? I don't care about this. Why should I give into this? See, every time you care about your addictions, it's going to make it that much harder to break. But when you start living your life as a lifestyle, it's your lifestyle at that point. Yeah, you might observe that your lifestyle, but it's a simple habit of nature at that point, right? A millionaire, yeah, they're a millionaire. Yeah, they might be grateful or thankful that they've got $1 million in the bank account, or that they've amassed over $1 million. But a millionaire, that's their lifestyle. They're comfortable with that. They're used to that. So although they might be grateful, they don't view being a millionaire under that light of significance. They don't view it under that light as a wow factor. Like the person who's in poverty, like the person who doesn't have that type of financial freedom. When you start viewing your problems under this light of insignificance, when you start to change your worldview and filter out your ego, you start to see how easy life really is. How easy it is to write and create the reality that you want for your life. And how easy it is to erase something and write something else in its place. And put another thing and another thing. Through your habits that is the pen to the paper. The same way you wired your brain to give a damn about your problems, to feed into those addictions, to want, to crave after those said addictions, whether it's adult films, pornography, whether it's drugs, the coke, whether it's social media to make you feel less lonely, these dating apps, whatever the case might be, you've written that in your books as something of significance, of importance to you. And it's going to make it that much harder to break away from it because you put it on a scale of priority. You've put it above you. Do you understand what I'm going for? Do you understand what I'm getting at? Because once you understand that, you can start making changes today. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. You can start making changes today. It's instant. It's quick. And then as you continue to operate in the now, right? You continue to operate in the now. And as time goes forward, or goes on, that's a better word because time is not linear. As time goes on, then you understand that, hey, all I had to do was just wire myself to go, or to wire myself differently, to shift, to change. That's all I have to do. And start viewing my problems as insignificant, of no importance. That's all I have to do. Yeah, that's all you have to do. If you do that, if you start viewing your problems, your addictions as something as insignificant, and you view it as, oh yeah, this is something I can change today, right now. Oh yeah, this is not, I got a solution to this right now. Yeah. And you view that as insignificant. Not the solution as insignificant, your problem as insignificant. Then you'll be able to come up with a quality solution for that said problem. It's all about changing your perspective, changing your worldview. It all starts and stops up here. Always remember that. Always remember that. And anybody who says otherwise just simply hasn't put pen to paper, just simply hasn't lived out those actions, lived out those thoughts, putting energy into the significance of that solution. That is where the focus is at. Not the problem. The significance is in the solution. And you can't get to a quality solution if the problem is bigger than the solution. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. Start viewing your problems as a microcosm. Cause it is. It's a tiny speck of your life. It's a tiny speck out of your day. It is a tiny quantum, not even, it's quantum. That's how insignificant your problems are. That's how insignificant your addiction is. What is addiction? Can you really say that there's chemical processes behind it? Yeah, you can. But just the same way you got addicted to it, you can undo it, and you don't need medicine or medication to do so. You don't. That's what they want you to think. It might take self-control. It might take a hell of a lot of self-control. But self-control dismisses the ego. And self-control and the ego can't exist. You can't serve two masters. It's one or the other. So you decide what your destiny is going to be. You decide what you desire. You decide what is achievable for you. And you either do or you don't. It's that simple. That's the video for today. Appreciate each and every single one of y'all tuning in. I will be having more bangers like this one on the channel, so make sure y'all stay tuned. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe. It's Boogie, and I'm out. Peace.